To the cloud.
Okay.
All right. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Monday Night Live broadcasting tonight from the Oregon coast. Hey, everybody. Hello, hello. Monday Night Live broadcasting tonight from the Oregon coast. Hey, everybody. Wow, that was interesting.
It was me. Just go.
Okay. Oh, it's always an adventure. Okay, guys, we're broadcasting live tonight from Oregon and Massachusetts and Florida and from across the United States. And we're streaming into Team Up, which is our family business Facebook page. Hi, everybody. All right, and continuation, happy 2022 for those of you that weren't with us last Monday night. So what are we doing tonight? Well, we are continuing to plan and envisioneer what it is that we would love to have in 2022 and beyond. And that takes a little bit of work. You know, I think it was Shakespeare who said, know thyself. Maybe it wasn't Shakespeare, but it takes some work to kind of sit back and take a look at what it is that you would like to be, do, and have in your life, in your relationships. It takes some work, some self-discovery to do that, but it's so important. So tonight we're going to kind of continue that work. Last week we talked about intention, belief, and action, which is my formula for success in all things. And I thought that tonight we would continue with that theme and get a little bit more artsy. And that's with dream boards and how dream boards really do speak to the subconscious mind. And it's the subconscious mind that drives your behavior. And so tonight, I'm just thrilled that Sonya Marquez from Massachusetts wanted to partner with me on this dream board topic and kind of share what she does and why she does what she does and how it has served her so well. So tonight, if Sonya, you're going to have to unmute yourself, sugar. Can you tell this New York, New Hampshire girl now says sugar? I've been in Texas. You should see the Oregonians look at me when I go sugar. So we're going to visit with Sonya. I'm so excited for what she's going to share with us, because I'm going to tell you, if you put time and effort into a dream board, it can absolutely be transformational. So Sonya, come on along and tell us what you would like to share with us.
Hello, everyone. Thank you very much, Terry. Yes, I'm excited. And there was a time when I spent a lot more time doing artsy craftsy things. And now I feel like a chauffeur to 3 little athletes all over the place. So this is a fun project. And we're not actually going to do the dream and vision boards here on this call because you really need a little more time, but we're going to kind of guide you and give you some just thought starters and things to kickstart you into thinking about it. And I just want to first say that just because January 1st has, we're into the second week of January, it's okay. It doesn't have to be done like immediately. It's just, it's something to really, like Terry said, take your time and think about, like, just as we kind of close out the year and reflect back on, wow, what am I really proud of? Or what things do I really want to continue on into the next year? It's a fun kind of refresh and restart to say, okay, new year, what are my new goals? And what are things I really want to focus on? As Terry says, what you focus on expands. And the dream vision board is a perfect tool to help us focus. So this lighting is kind of funky, sorry. And so I cannot remember. I was trying to remember the first time I did a vision board, and I have some examples to show you. And I just love the thought of, I'm a visual person. I don't know how many of you are visual people out there, but we all learn different ways, but it really helps to, like Terry says, see it, think it, feel it. And I'm sure all of you can experience, I don't know whether it's like going to see the theater, production or listening to a song or reading a book and something just really speaks to you, like a quote that you know, or some of you may pick a word for the year. I know I've done that the last couple of years. And this is what it is. It's about really finding things that really resonate in your body and that make you feel uplifted, inspired, and joyful to grab onto that and go, okay, the universe, God, whoever you want to say is calling to me, and that I need to focus on this. What is it? So I really love, so we're going to talk about what we talked about why, right? The focus, Terry. And if you want to jump in, but would you like me to do the envisioneering process first, or do you want me to save that? Do you want me to talk a little bit more about making the board?
Well, no, start with the envisioneering piece and then,
Okay.
and then the mechanic.
Okay. So I was speaking to Pamelia yesterday, and I've talked to some other friends. I had a friend over the other day, and we were just starting the process of going through the magazines. And some friends I've talked to, they just were like, where do I even start? You know, like you want to sit down and you want to just do it, but you there's a little bit of prep work. So we're going to just do a quick little exercise. If you will, if you'd like to participate, and you don't have to close your eyes, but I'd like to just be able to focus on not having distractions. So I'm just going to kind of talk you through a couple things to think about that might get you started. And like, as Jack Canfield, I'm going to say this exercise, like the daily practice, this is a quote from Jack Canfield, the daily practice of visualizing your dreams as already complete can rapidly accelerate your achievement of those dreams, goals, and ambitions. So with that, I want you to close your eyes and just listen, and just don't worry about taking notes or anything. Just notice what you think about. So you're going to close your eyes and imagine you've just woken from a wonderful sleep. Your alarm clock has gone off, or you've woken up naturally, and you're opening your eyes and waking up, and you're going to be stepping into this life that you've wanted always, like the life you've created, right? So I want you to think about, okay, what does the bed feel like? You know, do you have like nice, beautiful, fresh linens, like, you know, some nice thread count? Like that's something that I would love to have. Who's next to you? You know, are you alone? You know, look around the room. What does it look like? What do you notice? You know, and then you slowly, you know, what do you do? Do you have a routine with when you wake up in the morning? And then as you look around and walk around the room, go to the window and you look out. What do you see? You know, think about what's out there. Where are you living and what is visible from your windows? And then I want you to, as you walk through your home, describe the rooms, the smells, like what are some noticeable things that you can recognize from your home? You know, what about, you can get as detailed as you want, but what about the yard and the property? What stands out? You know, what's in the garage? You know, is there a car that you've always had your sights on, or your new toy, or what is it? Is it all organized and everything in its place? And then think about you starting your day, and what is it that you're going to start to do? Like, how do you spend your day? What would your ideal day be? You know, what do you do for work? Where will you be working? And describe what that feels like, how that makes you feel, you know, what you do. And then think about the relationships. You know, who are the people around you? And what are your relationships like with them? Not just the people living in the home with you, maybe, but those really close to you. Who do you really want to be spending more time with? You know, you think about your hobbies. Again, you can just go as detailed as you want about when you think about your ideal day. What are things that you really want to make sure you do spending your time with in the daytime. And so you can just slowly open your eyes, because I know that's just a little glimpse, but that's just a taste of something that you can do, and just really to visualize, because you can really, like, I don't know how anybody, if you want to say, Terry, like, could you visualize something? Like, is there something like, oh yeah, that speaks to me?
Well, Pamelia, excuse me, Sonia, when I've trained in the past, and I'm not going to take credit for this. This is something I've learned from Joe Dispenza, and I know that there's some big Joe Dispenza fans out there, is that when you are doing this envisioneering, it has to create emotion, joy, excitement, and then you think, feel, and act. That's Joe Dispenza. Think, feel, and act as if you are already in possession of what you are envisioning. And that's the secret. So you have to pay attention. Pay attention to what stirs your heart. Pay attention to what makes you happy. So when you're in the process of doing your goals and your dreams and your boards, you gotta pay attention. These pictures that you're posting need to stir this kind of joyful emotion from you, and then think, feel, and act. Good job.
Right.
I came up with some interesting visualizations. Go ahead, Sonia. This is so much
I
fun.
would say that's just like a glimpse of how a visualization process can start. I love Joe Dispenza too. You turned me on to those books, Terry. But then when you really need to take time and space to just like find a comfortable couch or make some time to put some nice music on. And then you start sitting down and think about, and I did this activity with some friends recently, is like, what do you desire? Like really, what do you desire? And some people, I have to admit, if a couple years ago, I don't know where I would have started, like let's say 10 years ago, 5 years ago, I was just so up to my eyeballs with taking care of 3 kids and babies. And I just wasn't in the mindset. And so it's really important to be open and start thinking about what you desire. And I think the one key thing with this, Terry, too, is feeling worthy. That's a big thing that I had to overcome, about feeling worthy to have these desires and wishes and dreams. I do think that I am a dreamer. And I just have had experience of feeling, I go with my gut a lot. So I do, like you said, Terry, when you feel it, you think it, see it, feel it. It's just, I know that feeling. I don't call it trust, call it faith, call it intuition, whatever, but I really go with my gut on a lot of things. So, okay, go to that. Now, you take some time, pen to paper, write down your goals, not just for the year, for 2022. I wrote my goals, and I also wrote goals out 5 years out. So, certain things, I can give some examples. It doesn't have to all be business related. We kind of categorize, there's 4 areas you can focus on, just to make it really easy. It's like professionally, your relationships, health and wellness, and then hobbies. You want to just, there's, I'm sure, or you go to your values. What are your values? And I'm sure a lot of us have spent time thinking about all of those little sections, but it all intersects and it all overlaps and it all layers upon layers. So I don't know if you want me to sell my goals, but I can talk to that when I show a little bit about my board. So once you have your goals, and it's really interesting, I want to say that I found some old journals. I don't know if any of you out there journal as well. Or keep. I found things from conferences I've done years ago, and I wrote down my goals, and it's fun to go back and look back. But I found in a journal that I wanted to be a yoga instructor, and I wanted to learn how to play piano. And I had been journaling about that for at least, I would say, 10 years. And so it's so interesting to go back and say, okay, I'm doing it. Like you just keep getting this like tugs at your heart, like, okay, it's time now. And like Terry says, you need to pay attention. Okay, so here's what you can do once you have your goals And you can buy, I'm gonna pull this one up. This one's completed, but my daughter did this last year. It's a big, like just a little cork board. You could do something like that. That's fun. And I like the look of this. She did this with her gymnastics team when they went into Zoom, once they went into quarantine and they were doing all their training on Zoom. So they did vision boards, which I love, and they all wrote goals. I'll show it up again, but some things to think about, like I said, not famous, but quotes that really speak to you, photos of yourself doing hobbies that you love. Go through magazines. I picked up one that I love to travel. I want to travel more. And this like adventure travel, just pick up old magazines, ask your neighbors. You don't need to spend a lot of money. You can just buy like a, poster board at the CVS. The word for 2022, if you have a special word, I know in the past I've picked focus. I picked like truth, like living my truth. I've picked wholehearted, like that was something, everything I did, I needed to know I was doing it wholeheartedly. Goals, we said that. I am statements. I want to speak to this quickly. This is something that, of course, Miss Terri has also worked with me on, and I'm so glad I did these. I probably did these with Terri 3.5 years ago. And I made it a habit of starting to say them every single day. My I am statements. I wake up, I say a little thank you, and then I do my I am statements. And so I printed up a new, it's pretty much the same ones I have. Maybe I changed one. I'm gonna add my I am statements to my board. I also have a picture of them on my phone, so I say them. And if anyone knows these positive affirmations, right? Like Terri said, it's as you are ready. I am confident, I am worthy of all the abundance that's flowing into my life. Like it is already happening.
Can I just throw in here? I love the I am statements, because remember, the word I am is a directive to the subconscious mind. And so like you, I open my eyes and I say my prayers of thank you. I give this day to you, the fruits of my labor, the desires of my heart. I place all questions in your hands and all burdens on your shoulders. And I pray for myself and all my brothers and sisters. And then right off, this goes through my head all day long. I am healthy and strong. I am bright and witty. I'm a genius. And I apply my wisdom and I bring success to everything I do. That is like a tape in my head. So go ahead. I just wanted to interject because there's
I love that.
Such power to the words. I am are the two strongest words in the universe. And my friends, your I ams are showing.
Our I ams are showing.
Okay, go ahead.
So I listed some, and I will, speaking of the Joe Dispenza and the I ams, and it's not really like, it's not like you just say it, put it out there and just say a prayer and be like, okay, it's all going to happen. Obviously we need to back it up with some, a plan of action. But my I am statements, I don't know if you have them familiar, you can put them up. Okay, we can just put them up quickly just to give an example. And I did this on Canva, really simply. I picked like the universe as my background because I feel like I don't know, every time I look up in the sky, that's when I just feel like really in touch with just being in touch with God and the universe and everything. So these are mine, and that I say every morning. And I have to tell you, I also would look in the mirror and say these. That's also a very powerful way to say your I am statements. And like I said earlier, when I first started doing these 3 years ago, the I am worthy, like I couldn't say that without crying. So I really was struggling with feeling worthy. And I've worked on this and gotten help in that. And thank you, Pamelia. We can pull that down, but those are just some examples. You don't have to use those. And I know Terri's shared hers, but I had to really work on what's holding me back, what's making me feel like I'm not worthy. So let's get back to this. So we're gonna go, what about the blank check, Terri? You wanna talk about the blank check?
Now, do you have one that you can post up there?
I didn't put I do have one, my blank check from my checkbook. I have it. I was like,
good.
Sure. So you have to explain this part.
Well, yeah, a blank check. I mean, I think one of the things that holds us back in the Juice Plus business and probably in network marketing is that it's a business.
Mhm.
And for a business to succeed, it has to make money.
Mhm.
If a business isn't making money, then guess what? You're out of business. And I feel that that is such a hang up. I mean, 99% of us come into this because we want to help others and be in service to others. But in understanding that, you can stand proud and be not just proud to make an income, but to be excited about it and to plan. Money, can it stir your heart? And so I just wrote some things down about money is that, you know, money it's a reward received for services rendered. And it's in direct proportion with the value that you bring. It doesn't make you a better person. And what it does is it gives you options, it gives you freedom, it gives you choices, it brings you peace. And so the more service that you render, okay, the more value that you bring, okay, then the more money you will earn. And so it's like an instrument. And so to be more, have more, give more. So I'm going to ask you this. If you write out a blank check and write down there, what would you like to earn monthly, towards the end of 2022 and 5 years out, and stick that on your vision board. And so how much do you want to earn? How much do you want to earn? Have some fun with this. So yeah, throw that on your vision board and circle back around at the end of the year and see what's happened. And it's got to be something that excites you, brings you joy. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. This is
money,
cool.
that's a big thing because like, as you've trained us before, it's like, what are our thoughts and feelings about money? And that's why it's so important when we're looking through the magazine. So, as you're looking, and don't forget these lovely cards that come with our Juice Plus orders. There's always some great statements like believe in where you're going, right? You really need to trust and believe in yourself. I love these. This is up in my kitchen. Positive mind, positive vibes, positive life, just to always be uplifted. So you can find through magazines, go online, find pictures, go through your photo albums, fun stickers, get some glittery stickers to, make some words and do all that. But I lost my train of thought and I was going to say something about money. Oh, there's a funny, back to your thing about money, Terry, there is a great little video. I think I learned it in a Teamsy training. They had a video of Jim Carrey. He wrote himself a check for like $10 million back in, I don't even know what year it was. So I see some people nodding their heads, so they've heard this story too. And oh my gosh, I wish I had the exact dates, but he wrote himself a check and he's, a struggling actor. And I think that year he must have made some big hit movie. And I think it was like $10 million is what he wrote himself the check for. And that is just proof. Like you gotta really know, and you really have to work on obviously being ready to, like be excellent, give excellent service, right? Like be excellent with your craft, whatever it is. So here's some of my goals. And nope, first I'm going to show an example of a digital one, because in this digital age, I have to be honest, I like cutting and I like that. I like the feeling of putting it together, but there's some great websites that I can give you that some friends gave me of where they did it. And Pamelia's going to put up this one. This was from a website called Medium. I just saw this. I liked how very clean it looks. And of course, all of these are images found digitally, this person. And, she intersperses the quotes with the I am statements. Look at that, I am strong. And then some words that she really authentic. What a great word, right? She just shines. Thy will be done, I see. Kindness seems to be a thing. And just being grateful, this so very thankful. But then you see like some healthy juices, some beautiful flowers, the whole color scheme. I love this picture of her jumping, or the second row, that jumping into the ocean. celebrating. There's a family picture. So you can be very creative. This was, I think, medium.com, but I have some other sites someone gave me, and I can put them in the chat of some other digital apps that you can use. I'm going to put them there. Oh, you know what? This thing is going to show me. Thank you, Pamelia. We can go to mine really quickly, and I can show you some things that I started with. Now, mine is not completed. Before we get off, I will write in the sites that we have been referred to. And you can go on, and there is so much on there. So here is just some examples. And I'm going to tell you that I'm not done. And it's not all glued, but these are some of my goals, and I'll tie it back. So I said, as you know, I learned to start playing piano 2 years ago. I said that. So I want to play a specific piece, Pachelbel, Canon, and D on piano. I first started learning piano because I said, I want to be able to play for my husband on our 20th wedding anniversary. But then I realized I really find a lot of joy in actually playing music. And so that's a goal of mine. I have yoga. I became certified as a yoga instructor. So I have some yoga pictures, happiness, healing, and whole living. Of course, I need the date on here. I didn't even put 2022, but Dare to Soar is what I put right front and center, like right there. And then I really loved this. My story matters because I matter. I am absolutely enough. And that's a big reminder for myself daily. As you can see, I have travel. That's my husband and we went to Italy on our honeymoon almost 20 years ago. And I thought, oh yeah, we're going to come back. We have not yet been back. So we are going to go back there. My family, that's a big thing. And I think trusting the journey is for myself, needing to know that just because it's up on here is not going to happen like when I want it. I think that's a big piece Terry and I talked about. You feel it, you're inspired. All the pictures on your board should have this emotional connection, but it's not like you want it so badly you're clinging and have like blue fists, and that you also want to be able to let go and trust, that the timing is not always your timing. So I'm going to get those web addresses. Absolutely. So I have some quotes. These are some other things. I would like to have a thriving yoga business, be an SSC this year with Juice Plus, and be an NMD 25 club in 5 years. I want to have a team of mindful living warriors. I want a vacation home by the beach. I need a picture of that. I want to own a piano. That's why there was a piano on there. And then the income for me is also about giving back. So I want to be able to raise $10,000 for the Pan Mass Challenge this year. And I'm going to run my first half marathon and raise $5,000 for St. Jude's in December, running with Pamelia and maybe Nancy and whoever else is going to do that. So again, have fun with these. I'm going to start writing these apps in here if you want to do it digitally. I love this process because it really gets you thinking. And I think that picture, again, like the picture of my family and saying, I'm exactly where I need to be, being a mom. Oh my God, we have to get Henry's story. We need to get Henry's story.
Yeah, well,
let's talk about why this is so important and that, it actually, it does work.
Okay, so what I want you to do is start typing out some of the
I got
sites.
those.
And I love that you have like this, this vision of, peace and harmony for your life. And yet still at the same time, you're making it very specific to your wants, needs, and desires. And I had heard a story once from Jen and Henry about their daughter. And you want to talk about the power of a vision. And it all started with a vision that she put on her laptop, on her screen. Henry, do you want to share that? Because you shared that with me today. This is so powerful, guys. Listen to this.
Yeah, I'd love to, Terry. It is just gives me goosebumps just talking about it. But our daughter, Kate, our oldest daughter, was a sailor, started very casually. We moved to Florida. She became a little more serious, ultimately got very serious in high school. And here we are in Naples, Florida. She was going to Naples High, but she never left the Northeast. And she was a good student. She was focused on studies, but she really loved sailing. And she, in the course of taking one of her summers, maybe after her junior, maybe after her sophomore year, she did a clinic in New England with a bunch of coaches from various colleges in New England. And she met Zach Leonard, who is the coach for Yale. And she just clicked with him and just thought, that's the guy I want to sail with. And so she put, without any coaching from me, she'd seen me do it, but she put an image of Yale Sailing Center on her laptop. And as I said, she was a good student, so she was in and out of her laptop God knows how many times a day. She got through her sophomore or her junior year of sailing fairly seriously down here. She was the top sailing girl in Florida at one point in time, with one regatta. But then she realized that she really needed to make up some ground because she'd spent so much time sailing. So in her senior year, she did 6 AP courses, did very little sailing, dropped off the radar from all the sailing coaches, just totally went off track in terms of what parents or kids that are focused on getting some sort of a ride with colleges, and just said, I'm going to be that kind of student. And I know I can sail. And she did, once she graduated, she did a year abroad, thanks to the virtual franchise that we have, went to India, traveled through India, had to produce an essay for Yale, and did so in an internet cafe back then, wrote it, sort of ran it by us, and then said, this is how I feel, this is the right thing. And then she sent it, but it went through without any punctuation, no capitalization, no periods, but it was her story. And the coach didn't have a clue she was even on the radar, made no effort to promote her. She was from some obscure school in Florida, but this was the only school she applied to. She said, either I'm going to Yale or I'm not going to school. I'll work. I know where I want to go. And she sent it off, and she got back home in time for acceptance things to come through. And she came blowing out her door one night and said, I'm in. And I could just feel the blood draining out of my head because I'm thinking, oh God, Ivy League tuition coming my way. But she got in. And not only did she get in, but she sailed, she went to the coach and said, hey, I'm here. And he said, you weren't even on the radar. You didn't sail last year. And she said, well, no, I didn't sail last year, but I'm here and I'm going to sail my heart out. Became captain of the team, 2-time All-American, graduated from Yale, and the team went from graduation, we put them on a plane in Hartford, and they flew to San Francisco, and they won the US Nationals. So hard for me to even talk about.
It's hard for me to listen.
The power of visualization, of setting the intention. She was in a place where she believed, she knew she was a student that could handle it. She knew she was a sailor who can handle it, but she put it together and she visualized it, and it came every single time, 30 times a day, 40 times a day. It works. It works.
It does work. I would say one thing, I love that story, Henry. Even if we're going through difficult times, like as we are now, and just doing whatever we can to stay uplifted and positive. And I remember the words that came out of my mouth when I found out my son was fighting cancer, and it just, something spoke to me. And the first thing I said to my husband, I grabbed him, I said, he's going to be okay. And I just kept repeating it. And I lived those 6 months only thinking of the positive. And that's how I got through it. Mm-hmm. So that is amazing. Like, I want to cry for your story about your daughter. That's how we get through, because we think it, we feel it, we believe it. And that's how we move through life.
And
Right.
That's how we move through life. Wow.
And I
guys.
just want to add 2 things, because I'm a digital person and I have my phone with me all the time. And so what I did with my vision board is I made a movie in my phone. So I set it to music, and because your vision has to be emotional, so I can play this all the time. And there's also an app that I listen to all night long with my affirmations. So I'm hearing them while I sleep. It's called
She's
Think Up. It's that orange one down in the corner. And you load your affirmations, you record them in your voice. You pick the music, you pick the ratio of music to the audio of your language. You choose all of that stuff. So I listen to it all night long while I sleep. And I also listen to it when I ride, because I'm the most present when I ride, when I do my sport. And I just have it in my pocket, my britches, and listen to it. And you can listen to it when you're driving. You can listen to it downtime. So that's another way to hear your affirmations over and over and over and over and over again.
Hey, Jen, a lot of people are asking, what is the name again of the
It's
app?
Think
Up.
Up.
It's that orange one. It looks like a whale tail, but it's actually a plant or something.
Okay, think.
It's orange. And I'm pretty sure it's
Think
free.
Up, Team Up.
I think it's,
Seems like
I'm
it
pretty
might,
sure it's
might
free.
click, you know, might catch on.
It's a great app.
It's something. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Oh my gosh, what a great night. All right, I'm going to leave you with this. Okay, so my word for 2022, it's actually 2 words put together, pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what stirs your heart.
Mhm.
Pay attention for me, like to the music that makes you want to cry, dance, or jump. You know, pay attention to what makes you happy, truly happy. You know, the kind of happy that kind of resonates in your bones. Okay, pay attention to the things that make you laugh, the things that make you smile. Really focus on figuring out what compels you. Really focus on discovering the aspects of the world that interest you and challenge you and makes you want to learn and grow. You have to pay attention. Pay attention to the things that make you believe in being alive, to the people that support you. You have to pay attention to the life that you want to create for yourself, because you are in charge, my friends, of your happiness. You are in charge of who you become. So if something makes your soul feel like it has finally home, pay attention to that. Whether it's Juice Plus or becoming a national marketing director or an idea or a person or a place, follow that. Because my friends, these are not random. These things that stir your heart are directly connected to your purpose for being here. So pay attention. Okay, Sonya, thank you. That was so great.
So much.
Blew my hair back. Henry, thank you. Jen, thank you. Pamelia, thank you for being at the controls tonight. You guys stir my heart. See you next Monday night. Peace and blessings.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Bye, guys.
everybody.
Thanks, Mary. Thanks, Terry. You guys are awesome.
That was so
Mahalo.
great. Thank you, Pamelia. Fabulous, my darling.
Always.
Yeah, you killed it.
Sonia, she's amazing.